your own study abroad expert. Now, there's a question which a lot of students ask me. We have very less time and we are working professionals. We are not able to study regularly. We have hectic work schedules and we do aspire to, study abroad. So how do we fulfill our international dreams? How do we take time out for study? How do we, study GRE and IELTS together while working full time? So the key takeaways of this video is going to be, we're going to talk about some similarities in different sections of GRE verbal and IELTS. We would also talk about few similarities in GRE quant and some portions in IELTS. So we would try to discuss in how many ways can we make our preparation easy and take time out while we are working full time. So stay with us till the end, and if you haven't subscribed to this video, subscribe to us right away. Do like all our videos if you want us to keep giving you a lot of new updates every now and then stay tuned in with us. Now let's discuss what is the similarity between the GRE exam and the IELTS exam. Your IELTS writing task 2, which is one of the most tricky parts of the IELTS exam, is quite similar to your GRE verbal analytical writing assessment, which is your analyze an issue essay. So if you're given an opinion essay in your writing task in IELTS, then the format and your approach would be quite similar to how you approach an issue essay in GRE verbal section. But there is a huge difference. The kind of topics that you get for GRE verbal are a little harder. Then you get only 30 minutes to address this task, and you have to write a lot. You have to write 500 to 600 words. Whereas for IELTS writing task 2, you are allocated around 40 minutes and you just have to write 250 to 300 words. 300 words is the maximum that you should try to reach, and that's more than enough. So as you can see that even if the topic of issue essay for GRE verbal is not that hard, but because of the time constraint and the number of words that you have to write, it becomes quite hard for students to get a very good score. But yes, while you're preparing for IELTS writing task 2, then definitely it's going to give you an edge while you're preparing for your GRE AWA. Now the next thing is that we would like to compare IELTS reading section and your GRE reading comprehension in your verbal section. So the kind of passages that you get in both in IELTS reading and your reading comprehension GRE verbal, they have similar difficulty levels. But the main difference out here is the kind of questions that you're asked. So even if the passages are not really very hard, but the kind of questions that you get for GRE reading comprehension are definitely harder than what you get for IELTS reading section. So in GRE reading comprehension, you get questions which would ask you about the author's attitude, the tone, theme, subtext, etc., which are harder than what you get in your IELTS reading section. But definitely if you are preparing for IELTS reading, it would help you to understand and improve in your GRE verbal section. Then in your verbal section in GRE, you have sentence completion, where you have text completion and sentence equivalence. Similarly, in your IELTS listening and reading section, you have this question format of sentence completion. And even if you have other question formats like summary, tables, flowchart, that would also need you to fill a blank. So that's a kind of a little similarity in both the sections. But the difference is that in your sentence completion kind of questions in GRE, you need to use a lot of knowledge on vocabulary, where you need to be good with the meanings for a lot of words. So you have to really focus on knowing the meanings of a lot of words. Whereas in IELTS, it's not really needed to have a very great vocabulary or know the meaning of a lot of words, because your sentence completions are not based on finding the meaning of a word. But it definitely, both the sections do use the basic skill of of extracting the information from the passage and filling a blank. So that basic skill is quite similar in both. Now lastly, let's talk about how your GRE quantitative aptitude is quite similar to your IELTS. In GRE quantitative aptitude section, you would need a lot of graphics. You would get questions in the form of charts, tables, etc., where you need to extract information and answer the questions. Similarly, in IELTS writing task 1, especially for academic training, when you're going for study visa, you would get pie charts, you would get line graphs or tables where you will have to extract the information and write about 150 words, at least 150 words. So the concept is the same, which is understanding the chart and using the information which is given in the question and trying to answer the question. So and even sometimes in IELTS reading section also, you would get some reading activity where you would there would be some tables etc. used where you will have to extract information and answer the questions. So somewhere, if you are preparing for GRE Quant, your hold over infographics improves, and that really helps you a lot while you are answering the questions in either your IELTS reading activities, which involve these graphics, or in your task 1 for academic training. So you need not necessarily say that GRE is harder than IELTS. Both have their own skills. You're using math and reading skills in both the exams, and you may not be able to compare it directly, but yes, if you're preparing them together, so your learnings from one could help you in another, it would definitely give you an edge, and that would expedite your preparation. That would help you understand the concepts more clearly and faster. And yes, so I hope this is being quite useful to you and you're going to utilize this while you're preparing. And one more thing, a lot of students, as I just discussed in the beginning, are worried about working full-time. So whatever time that you give to your preparation should be quality time. Do not worry about the quantity time. Do not worry about studying for long hours. But whatever you study, you have to make sure that you are able to consolidate your concepts clearly. Then you take a lot of tests, because doing a lot of tests would only help you understand whether you're able to apply the concepts learned or not. And that would also help you identify your weaknesses. So once you identify your weaknesses with a lot of practice drills, focus on your weaknesses and find out ways to overcome them. And as we have discussed in our previous videos, strategize your efforts so that you can always focus on all the sections which have higher weightage. So I hope this video was useful. Please like and share this video with all your friends and who are aspiring for GRE and IELTS exams for study abroad. Stay tuned in with us. Subscribe to us today, and we would always come back to you with a lot of new updates every now and then. If you have any comments, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. And if you want us to make a video on any particular topic, please write to us and we'll do that as soon as possible. Thank you.